Imagine a giant spinning top of icy air, high above the North Pole. This is the polar vortex, a swirling mass of frigid wind in the stratosphere. It acts like a fence, keeping the coldest Arctic air locked up far above us. But sometimes, the vortex gets wobbly, pushed by powerful waves of air from below. When it weakens, icy air escapes in huge cold blobs, surging south and bringing sudden extreme cold. This is the secret behind some of our wildest winters. So, when the cold comes, you'll know it started with a spin at the top of the world. The winter of 2018 began quietly. The polar vortex spun above the Arctic, keeping the cold contained. But in late January, a sudden stratospheric warming event hit. The temperature above the North Pole soared by 50 degrees. The vortex stretched and twisted, losing its grip. Scientists predicted Arctic cold would soon be unleashed. The world braced for impact. The winter of 2018 was about to turn unforgettable. The sudden stratospheric warming didn't just wobble the polar vortex, it broke it apart. In mid-February 2018, the single unified vortex split into two. Imagine a spinning ball of dough pressed in the middle, breaking into two blobs. One vortex drifted over North America, the other over Eurasia. Each carried a payload of Arctic cold, ready to unleash winter's fury. The jet stream, usually a straight river of air, became a wavy, meandering snake. These waves let the cold air plunge deep into populated areas. The split shattered the old weather patterns. Two centers of extreme cold now threatened millions. The stage was set for chaos, the beast from the east in Europe, and a Siberian chill in America. The world was about to feel the full force of a broken polar vortex. The split in the sky would soon become a deep freeze on the ground. Weather maps transformed overnight. The cold, once locked away, was now on the move. The consequences would be felt from London to Florida. The polar vortex had split, and winter would never be the same. The beast from the east was coming. The polar vortex split, sending Siberian air west. Europe froze under the beast from the east. Cities like London and Glasgow were buried in snow, roads and airports shut down. Even Rome saw rare snow paralyzing the city. The beast from the east became a symbol of nature's wild side. While Europe battled the beast, the other vortex targeted North America. It settled over eastern Canada, sending waves of Arctic air down the U.S. East Coast. This wasn't a normal cold snap. It was a relentless, bone-chilling freeze. Cities from Maine to Florida felt the sting. New York had one of its coldest New Year's Eves ever. Mount Washington's wind chills dropped to minus 94 degrees. Even Florida saw iguanas frozen out of trees. The cold brought powerful nor'easters, snowstorms fueled by Arctic air meeting Atlantic moisture. A bomb cyclone hit, burying Boston in snow and flooding coastal towns. Power outages, closed schools, and frozen pipes became daily struggles. The cold strained power grids and shut down cities. Life became a battle against the elements. The polar vortex split wasn't just science, it was hardship for millions. The East Coast faced a winter it would never forget. The Arctic had come to visit, and it wasn't leaving soon. The cold was a test of endurance. The vortex's split had real, human consequences. America's East Coast felt the full force of the polar vortex unleashed. When the cold hit, people had to adapt fast. Getting to work or school became an adventure. Everyone bundled up, multiple layers, hats, scarves, and gloves. In the coldest cities, frostbite was a real risk. Even walking the dog was a race against the chill. Cities worked non-stop to keep roads clear. Snowplow drivers became local heroes. Public transport struggled. Frozen tracks and stuck buses caused chaos. Communication was key. Cities updated residents on closures and emergencies. Community spirit shone. Neighbors checked on each other, volunteers helped the vulnerable. Warming centers opened for those without heat. Social media buzzed with tips for staying warm and preventing frozen pipes. The economy took a hit. Flights canceled, businesses closed, construction halted. But some businesses thrived. Hardware stores sold out of shovels and heaters. Plumbers were in high demand. The 2018 polar vortex tested our resilience. It showed how quickly life can change when extreme weather strikes. Cities and people learned to adapt together. The cold was a challenge, but also a lesson in community. Extreme weather brought out the best and the toughest in everyone. The cold of 2018 was brutal for animals, too. In Florida, iguanas froze and fell from trees, paralyzed but not dead. When the sun returned, many revived and crawled away. Sea turtles in the Gulf of Mexico were stunned by the cold, unable to swim. Volunteers rescued thousands, warming them in rehab centers until they could be released. Birds struggled to find food. Snow and ice covered seeds and berries. People put out feeders to help them survive. Even sharks washed up on Cape Cod, victims of cold shock. Pets needed extra care. Vets warned owners to limit outdoor time and protect paws. The cold was a reminder. Animals depend on us in extreme weather. The winter showed how climate connects all life. A change high in the sky had life or death consequences below. Nature's fragility was on full display. The polar vortex's split was a lesson in survival. Wildlife, pets, and people all faced the same challenge. The cold tested every living thing. The winter of 2018 was a powerful reminder of our connection to the climate. Survival depended on adaptation and a little help from each other. What caused the polar vortex to split in 2018? The main culprit: sudden stratospheric warming. Powerful high-pressure systems in the lower atmosphere sent massive waves, called Rossby waves, upward. These waves crashed into the vortex, releasing energy and heat. The stratosphere warmed rapidly, weakening the vortex's spin. The stable circle stretched, then split in two. It's a chain reaction. Weather patterns near the ground can trigger chaos miles above. Some scientists wonder if climate change is making these events more likely. The Arctic is warming faster than anywhere else, shrinking the temperature gap with the equator. This weakens the jet stream, making it wavier and more prone to sending energy up to the vortex. A wavier jet stream means more sudden stratospheric warming and more chances for the vortex to split. Paradoxically, a warming planet could mean more intense cold snaps in some places. The science is still evolving, but the 2018 event gave researchers a wealth of data. The link to climate change isn't certain, but the patterns are concerning. The polar vortex is a window into our changing world. What happens miles above can shape winters for millions below. The story of 2018 is still being studied, but one thing is clear: the atmosphere is more connected and more unpredictable than ever. The wild winter of 2018 taught us to expect the unexpected. Weather can change fast. A stable pattern can break overnight. A warming world doesn't mean the end of cold. It might mean more chaos. Preparation is key. Every household should have an emergency kit and a plan for power outages. Insulate your home, know how to prevent frozen pipes, and stay informed. Cities must invest in stronger infrastructure, better power grids, public transport, and snow removal. Clear communication saves lives during storms. Better forecasting gives us more time to prepare. The 2018 vortex split was a wake-up call. We're vulnerable to extreme weather. The best long-term solution is to address climate change, reduce emissions, transition to clean energy. The weather is getting wilder, and we must adapt. By learning from the past, we can face the future with resilience. The cold of 2018 was a tough lesson, but one we can't ignore. The polar vortex is a reminder. Nature is powerful, and we must be ready. Our response will shape how we weather the next storm. The future is uncertain, but preparation gives us hope. Let's be ready for whatever winter brings.